Ladies and gentlemen, we are round 13, and today we have Vinny playing, what is it, Ghost Recon, right?
Ghost Recon.
I'm not very familiar with the game, but you'll be playing that game, while all of us will be playing all different games. On the other corner of the ring, I'm sorry, I'm thinking of that we're in an arena or something, but on this corner of the ring, we have
Keep it
Star
going.
117, the guy who knows how to get the stuff. And when I say stuff, I mean dildos. On the other side of the ring, we have Lord Cummington, the Lord of Cum. As we all know, he loves to come. And myself, hero of gamers.
Are you in the other corner, or are you just kind of standing?
No, I'm just on the side of the ring.
Okay, cool.
He's the silent judge.
Ah, the silent judge.
Alright, and today's topic, we're going to be talking about aliens.
Ooh.
Ancient aliens. Or...
Insert Thurman machine.
Insert Thurman machine. I like it.
Cool guys, aliens.
Oh man,
Where
to even begin with those?
I can only just imagine that guy from the History Channel. Aliens.
So is it considered?
You've seen
I don't
the
know.
progression of that guy's hair.
Dude, it's crazy. Is it considered? I don't know. Copyright to use him in our thumbnail?
It's
He's
basically
a
a
meme.
meme now. So I don't think copyright.
For all of you guys who
Copyrighted
don't
meme.
know what that guy is, here's a picture of him right now. Yeah, he is fantastic. The fact that they made him a meme is even
I want to
better.
know. How does he get that job? Like, I always wonder that when you see TV shows where it's like, and here's your expert in otherworldly warfare tactics. Like, what? Like, who the fuck appointed you?
Literally, I'm pretty sure
Does he
like
design
the
video games or
people-
something?
No, I'm pretty sure they just go around like audition style, right? And they're like, okay, which one of you crazy motherfuckers are the craziest?
They're like, all right, what you got? Or it's like they get kidnapped. What do they do? Is it League of Extraordinary Gentlemen when they kidnap each other? And like, you're probably wondering why I brought you here today. Sean Connery.
Right.
Here to probe your butthole. Wait, what?
They probably also have. I would imagine it happens. I'd like to think it happens.
I know, right?
But
So anyways,
aliens, real or
topic
fake?
on
Let's just start
aliens. Yeah, so space. Wonders, right? So vast. And the fact that people think we are alone kind of just blows my mind. Like, there's
Ridiculous.
no way. At least that's my understanding.
Yeah.
There's no way.
No, I'd agree. I mean, with the even like mathematically, it all makes sense that we're not. You know, just the amount of different possibilities that are out there.
You know what always freaks me out about space? Because I always think of space as two-dimensional, right? You always see those
Explain.
things where the planets align, but you don't move X, Y. They move in an X, Y, Z axis. So
Yeah.
there's infinite. There's at least 360 different ways you can leave from the Earth and go in a completely opposite direction of anybody and still not ever reach the same place.
Yeah, that's a crazy thing for sure because all the graphics you see definitely make it two-dimensional. But then, like when they talk about planets lining up, you know, it becomes more of a that more of a deal because it has so many like, degrees of view and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's The thing still, it still blows my mind. And me being in
Something
So
Science
overall, we're saying-
Olympiad, right?
We're trapped here.
Yeah. Me being in Science
So overall,
Olympiad
we're
and,
saying that.
Go ahead.
So overall, we're saying that we all believe in some kind of
Mystical beings.
aliens. Yeah, something like that, or they exist. But what do you think, you guys? Or what was I saying? What do you think about the whole? What was I gonna say?
Are you dying?
Aliens made the pyramids and that kind of bullshit.
Something
Well, I feel
like
like
that. But
if we've been visited, have we been visited by these beings?
Oh, we
that's
have
that's
to.
really where
yeah,
it gets
totally.
sketchy. I
but
feel like
I'm-
we're
but
all.
I would think that most any spacefaring race, something that's able to leave their own planet, is like at the point where they're just not like, oh yeah, we're gonna just try and push this in society, but all we're gonna do is just teach them how to farm. No, I would think like, oh, so we're gonna push this, or we're going to not leave it alone and see how they develop on their own. I don't think any spacefaring race would be like, hey, so we're gonna just help, but only a little bit, and we want to become gods. Less like space trolls.
Right.
But I mean, isn't that like the ultimate thing though? Like, not for everybody, but if you are think like mad scientists, they all have like a god complex, you know? They want to have the power of creation and destruction. What if they have the same motives?
Enemy drone airborne.
You could see
Does
that.
that make sense? Did I say that right? I think I said it the way I wanted it to.
Somebody comes to a different planet, becomes a god, and then gets arrested by the space police, and like, you fucking idiot. You weren't supposed to dick with these people. That's why
Space
they're not
police.
here right now.
It's awesome. They just kind of show up.
Loud.
We are the space police.
We, hello, yes, we are space police. Space enforcer.
did you guys ever see that South Park episode where they come?
We got enemy activity.
Moo, 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 moo.
Like we're just. No, not that one.
Oh, no.
One where they
That's like
come
one
and
of the
get the
original
guy,
seasons.
and he's like, oh, he wins the giant douche award or something.
No, it's the one where he's like a pirate or whatever, and he has space money, and they kill him. They get the space money, and they are like building all this stuff,
That's
and
awesome.
they're all communicating with the countries.
Enemy drone.
And then
I
the
like to
space
think
police
about-
comes down.
Cartoons in space is Rick and Morty when they need Jerry's balls.
Yeah.
His dick. They need his dick.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Just undergo this surgery, and you'll save the galaxy.
Your penis is roughly the same size and shape as this motherfucker's heart.
Yeah, that's
Please
hilarious.
save this motherfucker. And it's just like, ah, god damn it.
So kind of backtracking here a bit, right? On when we were talking about the whole colonization, or not even that, like alien encounters and stuff. Did you hear or see what? Oh my God, I'm terabad. Sorry. Should have killed this guy.
Oh, don't worry, we're all having that kind of day today.
It's a Sunday morning, so those of you
right.
listening.
Right. No, like
We're
what humans have
recording
sent.
We
for
all
backlog.
literally just woke up. This is a bonus episode.
Yes. No, the what humans have sent to space in hopes of like an alien will see it and know what to do with it.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
like
So it's called the
actual
Voyager.
items and then radio waves and everything.
Yeah, it's called the Voyager
Yeah,
Golden Record.
Yeah. You
Right, so
remember
for-
the name of the guy that sent it?
Oh God. I need to know this.
Absolutely not. I do not
I
know that at
did
all.
a report on this in like the 7th
Carl
grade.
Sagan.
Carl Sagan. Yes. There we go.
That's what it is. But anyway, so what it is essentially it's a phonographic record of that was included in the Voyager space probe, and it included sound, messages, images that basically portrayed life on Earth. And hopefully, any extraterrestrials looking at it will be able to see and know what life is.
Did you know that that space shuttle or the probe is only just started to come out of our solar system?
Yeah, the Voyager.
it's
It went
taken,
the
like-
Kepler belt.
And it's taken like 20 years for it to do that.
Yeah, which means if we ever get anything, then it's going to take 20 years to come back.
Yo, at least.
I know
At
that
least.
thing is gone.
Unless
gone
they have some
space.
sort of way to get it here quicker, but you
Yep.
know.
I agree.
I would like to think that like hyperspeed or like warp gates or something like that is like a actual possibility, but at the same time, looking at it from like a realistic physics standpoint, I'm just like, we're fucked. If we ever try and leave our solar system, nobody's ever fucking coming back.
No. I think one of my
There's
There's
favorite
actually a
movies
really great
is,
book out there
Um,
about
Interstellar.
leaving our solar system, where there is going to take 3 generations to get to from Earth to this new planet, and the book's based during the 2nd generation, where they're the generation that will never see the new planet, will only be like stuck on this
spaceship.
ship for their entire life.
No, I'd go crazy.
And it
That's
goes-
interesting. Would that piss you guys off?
It
Do you
depends.
think there'd be like a
Your-
sign of
Your
ignorance?
entire
like, would
life is basically predetermined for you, and there's no way you can get around it or even like back out of this program, and you're in a spaceship where you can't do anything other than like a set number of jobs that are already like pre-allocated to the community. Yes,
So-
I would hate
feel like-
that.
I feel like you'd never
it
make
depends,
it. Like
though,
I feel
right?
like the 2nd and 3rd generations would end up taking over the ship and be like, you know what? Fuck this.
But it depends what they're brainwashed. You know, like if they're taught and told what to do and how that's the way of life is, then maybe it'll work. It's not like they have
Right,
our
that's the other
mindset.
side.
It's not like they have our mindset right now where it's like, oh, we have open area. Fuck no, I ain't gonna get in that. If that's all they know is that they're
Exactly.
supposed to be on this ship, then they're gonna be obedient. You're gonna have the
Have you guys ever
one or two rebels,
go ahead.
but I think it would work, and they have no sense of what not to know.
I feel like that'd be the only way to do it is if you just kept them ignorant to everything. Have you guys seen the what is it, The Village by Shyamalan?
I actually have.
Yes.
Wait,
I have not.
maybe is that the one in the forest?
It's in the forest, but it's actually like a public land that they bought off, and they pretend to live in like the 1800s, but it's like
Okay, nice.
2010.
That's the twist.
The
Spoiler.
movie's been out for 10 years. No spoiler alert needed. It's been out for 10 years.
Is that kind of like the Truman Show, where like the guy is
Yes,
been living
very
his
much so.
entire life in a show and doesn't realize it, and then when he does, he's just like, well, fuck.
Well, kind of. So, at the end of the movie, a girl ends up escaping. Like, what is that? And she sees a jeep. She has no idea what it is because her entire life has been fabricated on like fear of these monsters, and she doesn't know about the real world because they're sitting there milking cows and.
She's also
making-
blind.
So
Arts
is
and
she like
crafts.
in the
She is
first
also
or
blind.
second generation? Like is she the kid of the first generation where they're like,
Yes.
we want to live in the 1800s,
Second
so
generation.
we're
Yep.
okay.
Second generation.
It would be.
And that's exactly
it
how
would
it
be
turns
even
out. But
weirder
the
if it was
society's
like the
fine.
third generation, where the entire first generation's already gone, and even the second generation doesn't understand or know anything outside of this little hobble. That would be an interesting story too.
But I feel like if they find out, like if that second or third generation find out like the truth, why they're actually hurling themselves through space, where they came from and why, like they'd be pissed. Like that's where you'd get total
I'd
anarchy.
be.
They'd be like, you know what?
Yep.
Fuck this.
Just shut up, out.
Yeah. Did you guys hear about the
But, I
other
mean, I
radio
don't know.
message sent to, like, what they broadcasted in '74?
No.
It was
would you
just like
to
that.
make a quick run through of it?
Yeah. So it's just this. It's a whole bunch of images, right? That we are supposed to. They're supposed to know what happens, right? Like they're supposed to look at this picture and go, "Oh, that's what this is." And I'll show a quick glimpse of the message and kind of run through it. But essentially, what they have on there is the whole top row is binary numbers, and then they have the atomic numbers of atoms and such, and it's just a whole bunch of symbols and nonsense that makes absolutely no sense. Like if I looked at this and I can see a resemblance of like a human and whatnot, but other than that, I would have no idea what this is. So I'm wondering if this ever does get reached, you know, like what would they see it as?
Gibberish.
That's exactly what I'm.
Absolute gibberish.
They have
And,
no idea what
even
it
like
is.
numbers. Numbers are just a symbol, right?
Right.
In our world, we accept numbers 1, 2, 5, so on and so forth. Just the symbol of a number as what it is. Think about Roman numerals. Those denote the same numbers, but are in a different script, right?
Exactly.
So
Well, I feel like it's not so much for the other race or species to understand what it says, to say that there is someone sending messages.
Right.
there is an intelligent life on Earth, even though we're sending something that's unintelligible
Intelligible.
to
I mean, yeah, but
every
what else?
place else.
What would be the solution? Like, how would you put your message that there's intelligent life out here?
Google Translate.
Honestly, I probably wouldn't. Why would you want to try?
Write it all in
Well,
numbers.
there's two ways of thinking. Okay, so we're gonna tell everybody that, or tell the entire universe there's intelligent life, and try and bring more intelligent life here so we can share ideas. Or I'm not gonna share that there's intelligent life here, so we don't get freaking massacred by another race on our
Resources.
natural resources.
I mean, I feel like it's pro versus con type of thing. Like, sure, there's always the threat of being massacred, but if they come and share the technology with you, then things could be a lot better.
Isn't
I
there
doubt
like an
that's how it
entire
works.
like movie on this where they like the aliens show up and they say they're helping us, but really they're trying to like stock us up as like livestock and things like
I
that?
don't know what movie you're
I don't
referring
know.
to, but I'm sure there is a movie because it's very easy for us to make movies out of things we fear.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Think about World of Worlds, right? What if something like that happened? Like an alien encounter where all of a sudden these giant ass machines and stuff come out.
Yeah, they're literally farming humans. That's the whole premise of that movie.
Right? And that kind of goes into, you know, ancient aliens, because they were saying they what had their things there during the dinosaurs or whatnot, like stupid early. That's when they planted all of those big ass machines, and then they were just waiting for the right time.
You're just waiting. Well, I mean, even
Imagine if they
Speaking
put their
history,
machines
like-
down. Okay, we'll be back in like 100 years. We'll come take care of this. Then they show back up and they're like, where the fuck is everything? And dinosaurs are gone. What the fuck happened to this place? And it's really like been 10 million years since their last visit.
That'd be
Because
funny.
like
Time agrees different. They're using Earth as a storage space.
like,
Right.
where
Let's just
the
drop these
fuck
off and we'll
happened to
come
all
for
of
them
our
later.
shit?
They
Or
just
what
dropped
if
it
they
off
were
here so they
watching
could go.
us, you know, waiting for the terraforming to happen, or like get it kind of terraformed for them. They're like, sweet, they already did the hard part. Yeah, so that kind of goes into, you know, building the pyramids, right? What if,
Yeah, so let's talk about the
aliens
great
and
engineering
stuff.
feats that we've accomplished.
yeah, what if like aliens actually did build the pyramids or helped out, and then it's another, you know, World of Warcraft situation where literally deep down in the pyramids, there's these giant ass robot aliens that are gonna come and kill us all.
I'd rather like to think that that the pyramids them is our version of drawing a penis on the side of a wall.
I mean, I'd like to think that too, but
Just a giant lol.
not exactly how it goes.
Other races or other like alien races show up and they're like, why the fuck do you have these giant penises everywhere? And we're like, those are like ancestral history. God damn it, you guys are
No,
fucking
no, no,
idiots.
it's a dick. It's
No, that's-
just a dick.
That's an alien dong. Notice how some of them are tinier and one is ginormous.
And they're everywhere. They show up all over. Have you ever been into what you call gas station bathroom?
You see how these ones are? That's the difference between circumcised and uncircumcised.
Oh, an alien bomb.
Same difference.
Broke visual with the enemy.
I think it's funny that we always put like the same cultures and behaviors on it.
Hostiles are going loud.
Onto ours.
I love that.
Because that's all we
Rhonda there.
know.
It is. I love it. Well, I'd like to think that if there are other beings out there, that they're sitting there drawing giant dicks on everything.
Vision now.
Just trolling
I'm all
the
about
entire
that.
universe.
He's history.
That would be funny. That would be great.
I mean, I'd enjoy it. I want to be that guy that's
At the
just
same
like,
time, imagine
Dix
like
was
if
here.
we find out that our... Huh? Sorry.
So I just want to be that guy that's just known as like the dick drawer.
Of the universe?
Yes.
I can see that. Vinny, the penis of the universe, carves a giant phallus onto like multiple different planets.
Literally takes like a death ray
But on a-
laser beam and just actually draws a giant dick on the planet in like big ass scale.
Make it into like a
Seen from
giant like
space.
ocean or something. So when you're out in space, you're just like, oh, it's pretty. Oh my God, there's a giant penis on the side of the planet.
Oh look, they have mountains. Oh, that's just Mount Dong.
Mount Dong. On a
Kinda
serious
like Rick
note,
and
though,
Morty.
how do you
It's
guys think they
gone.
did the pyramids and the engineering stuff like that we still can't figure out with today's technology? I want answers.
I feel like people are over exaggerating it. Some of the
Stonehead and
I feel like,
everything.
oh, it's so perfectly cut. I don't know if like that's an actual thing or if everybody just assumes that it's perfectly cut because over time it's all worn down roughly to the same point or
To
whatever.
fit each other.
But like
You already
a
know
lot
my
of the
point on this.
moving these giant. Really, we do
Aliens.
aliens. God damn it, Fluff.
Well, I mean,
That's where you put
definitely
that
see
picture.
both sides of things. When you have two rocks that are smashed together, and then over time, you know, they're gonna sit there and erode, and they're gonna fit perfectly like a puzzle.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily mean they
So
were
have
cut
you ever
perfectly.
seen? Have you ever seen a episode of that show, Ancient Aliens? They make good points, but at the end you're like, they make good points, but
How much of it is actually real?
it just, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's a
That's
bunch
Like
of
all this stuff is just out there.
yeah. There's a ton of
Have you
like
guys?
TV shows and movies that are like fake documentaries, like the Mermaids one. Like, get the fuck out of here! You didn't make a documentary about mermaids.
Bitch, you
There's a
just
big
stole shit from
documentary
the Disney
on,
movie The Little Mermaid.
It's a fake documentary on like dragons, where they like they go through like the whole like how the dragons must have ended, and we found like 2 dragons frozen in this ice, and
Oh yes,
turns out
I've
that
seen
the
that one.
last dragon was like supposed to be a girl, so that or a boy, so that they could produce more, but the father changed it to a girl so that he could breed with more. It was all kinds of bullshit. But
I mean, there's a bunch of fiction out there. You know, if anything sells, then sell it. Or if you can sell it, sell it. You know, it's all about business in the end.
Yeah, I don't know. I still
the
think
money.
the fact that they did that still blows my mind. How they were able to do stuff like that, yet we build a fucking building and it falls.
Yeah.
Hostiles are going loud.
I know,
I
but
mean, the thing
theirs
that's really
is, like,
crazy is how they
simple.
moved everything. It is very simple. Like, it's a simple structure, big squares, big triangles, and everything. But the way that they moved it, like, that's what I really have interest in. Like, the big slabs of rock that we can't even move. You know, I'm sure there's a simple way that they did it in reality, but it's just one of those things, like, I don't know, looks like you guys had a little help here.
Give me
kind
a
of a group
lever and
project.
fulcrum. Give me a big enough lever and a fulcrum, and I can move the world.
Right.
Hostiles are going loud.
It's not necessarily that hard. It's
But
just
what like, did they have
figuring
the
out a
resources
innovative
to
way
do all
to
of
move
that?
it. Obviously, they did.
Heads up. We got enemy activity.
You know in that
If it
movie,
happened, they
10,000
must
BC,
have had enough.
they have those
resource.
mammoths.
Watch for the flashbang.
Technically,
one?
mammoths were alive in the time during the creations of the pyramids. But
Had
here's the
mammoths in
thing.
Egypt?
Yeah. Well, they probably didn't, is the thing. But they might have had like regular elephants or something like that. But at the same time, I would think like somebody would be like, yeah, so there's elephant skeletons here.
Yeah, wouldn't you find
like-
stuff like that? Like,
Heads
they
up.
didn't
We
have
got
proper
enemy
hygiene or veterinary skills. You can't tell me they were doing all this work and one of the animals, at least one of the animals, didn't drop. Maybe they just didn't find it.
Yeah. I know, but also I'm thinking about this, and they found, in Greece, they found, ancient Greece, they found,
That's a kill.
bodies of mammoths where they removed the tusks and put them together like a human body, where it was supposed to be like a cyclops. Because it
Oh,
has giant.
yes.
Or the oh, it's cyclops.
So you mean to be telling me that it wasn't the aliens drawing the giant ancient dongs on the Earth, it was us drawing giant alien dongs on the Earth? We fabricated this years and years ago, so it would fuck us up today because it's working.
I think we're going in a roundabout method of trying to figure this out.
Alright, so, you know, ancient pyramids, aliens, dongs. What do you guys think about crop circles?
I think it's a way to fuck with tourists.
Yeah, I think it's a big hoax put on by teenagers. There's one thing that the aliens were gonna do that's not gonna be fuck up our crops for 2 seconds. Fly
You
away.
think so, though? Have you seen some of these crop
Yeah.
circles, though?
I
They're
have.
intricate, yeah, but yeah,
How
If
do
you
you
throw
make
a
it
grid on it,
happen?
though, it's
or
not
one
too hard.
I know, but still, you know, like, it's crazy how, like, perfectly circular and everything is, or some of these, you know, like, for instance, this one, right? This one is insane. Or I don't know how they do it.
I I mean,
How everything is so intricate and
It's-
perfect.
the way that I think of it is the same as like an artist. So like you and I aren't going to be able to just go and draw like a crop circle, but we also can't sit there and like make a perfectly designed portrait tattoo. You know, like if you think of it like that,
I guess.
where it takes
yeah.
an artist, you know, anyone skilled enough can do it. I mean, hell, they were making giant alien penises out of rock.
Giant alien dongs. That's right.
Yes.
But that's how I think of it. I think it's just a way to fuck one. Someone got drunk one night and they're like, dude, I'm gonna go fuck up your crops. And then he came out, he was like, oh my god, all my shit's laying over. Must've been
I don't know, man. This
aliens."
picture right here definitely shows it in a nutshell. So.
So we got
Oh.
both sides of the stories. Some of us think it's a hoax. But people want to believe in aliens, so we just assume that everything alien is a thing.
Let us know in the comments what you guys think. Because you know we're that big. We're that cool.
You never know. You gotta piss off the internet to get results, right? That's what
Dude,
they
right.
say. Something like
Dude,
that.
hype.
I don't know.
Just gotta do crazy things.
Oh, alien encounters. Have you guys ever seen a UFO? Or something like that?
Ooh, good question.
No. I've seen a one naked. Does that count?
I mean,
I don't
that's an
think so.
unidentified walking wand, so the UWJ.
UWJ.
An unwanted walking wand. Because it is identified.
You're right. It is identified. I don't know. I don't think I've seen anything that's really been an unidentified flying object. Maybe
I was in
unidentified
my-
to me, but yeah, I haven't seen anything
Oh,
like that.
shit. Oh,
So
sorry.
the thing that they claim was a freaking rocket from what was that? SpaceX, and they're like, oh yeah, that's a SpaceX rocket. Nah, that was an alien spacecraft that
Okay, so
took off.
on
Oh
their-
my god, can we take a minute and talk about that?
yeah, so in their hindsight, they didn't tell anyone about it. They didn't mention anything, and they just launched a fucking rocket.
The other thing with that, though, is if you look at their social media, they document every rocket, like close-up pictures, here's a rocket. On that one, they're like, by the way, guys, launched a rocket, and it's like a photograph that I took of it in the sky. Like, really? That was you guys? And I've got some friends who live where they launched it from, and normally they put out a big, like, memo to let the locals know, hey, you're not under attack from Russia, you know, we're not attacking you, this is gonna happen, it's a test, blah, blah, blah. They didn't do anything. They didn't do any of that.
That's why I'm saying it was either an accident, like, oh fuck, we launched a goddamn rocket, or there's aliens like, we're fucking escaping from this goddamn military base, motherfuckers.
I mean, it very well, I believe either of them, and they needed a good cover-up. Got SpaceX on board. I just think it's fishy that SpaceX has close-up pictures of every single rocket that they have, and then on this one they're like, launched a rocket. I'm like, what did you launch?
Lols.
Like, and they didn't come out until afterwards. Like, I looked on the page because I saw it in the sky. They're like, oh, by the way, that's our rocket. Like, 5 hours later, like, what? This wasn't there a second ago.
Yeah, I remember your text. You're like getting all freaked out and stuff.
It doesn't help.
Like,
Well,
I think we're
I-
getting attacked by Russia.
Not
I
even
thought
that.
it
It
was
doesn't
Russia
help
for sure.
that.
I wanted it to be Russia.
Right? It
Or
doesn't
North
help
Korea.
that. Yeah, the whole I'm gonna nuke the U.S. type thing that Korea was saying, and how they were actually, you know, like what was it?
They can.
Not even they can. Moreover, they were threatening Guam. Like they had nuclear.
Yeah.
They had like nuclear plans in place. You know. I thought it was a nuke. I was like, well,
I
there
was
goes my
ready
family.
for what is the what's the movie where it's the kids and they Red Dawn. The kids
Yeah.
take over the town from the Russians and the Koreans.
The
That's what I was
Chinese.
ready for. I was
Yeah.
like getting geared up. I went to Costco and I was like all stoked. I'm like, yes, we need to go get some ammo. Let's do this. Just sitting there like I'm gonna Red Dawn it up.
That's funny.
My hunting rifle's gonna take on the nuclear government of Russia.
That's funny.
That would be funny.
But
Dude, so I was in
Something
my
else.
hot tub, right? I was in the hot tub with my neighbor.
Yes.
And we're just chilling. And all of a sudden, we look up in the sky and we see this red light kind of in the distance. We're like, all right, you know, fuck it, plane. We're next to the Air Force Academy. So, you know, obviously it's in one of those aircrafts. And then it starts coming closer, like, towards us, not necessarily, like, lower. And then we can kind of get a glimpse of the shape of it. And it looked like, and I shit you not, like a cube, like a rectangular object, like a 3D rectangle with a red light on the bottom of it. And it wasn't bright, it was like a dim red light. And then all of a sudden it just kind of like stopped in the near distance. Just all of a sudden it was going, stopped. Hovered, did like a 90-degree circle turn, and then gone. Boy, you want to talk about how fast I got out of that goddamn hot tub?
Yeah.
well, stuff like that
like-
freaks you out. It makes you feel small and
Not even that,
insignificant.
but the fact that this object just stopped, right? Not like a little casual stop. It stopped, straight up.
It didn't do a skirt.
No, it did not do a skirt. It just stopped ass directly in front. It terrified the shit out of
Absolutely
me.
terrifying.
And it was like nothing that the government did, right? I work for the government. Not really, but if I did, I would tell everyone about this. No, I'm just kidding.
Vinny is his own government.
I am the government of Vinny.
Probably shouldn't be saying these things because you deal with this shit at some point.
Nah. That's just overrated. No, but
Yeah.
like it didn't look like a government object or a government.
A prototype ship or something like that.
Yeah. No, it was nothing like that.
Something totally.
Pretty sketch.
Well, it just makes you wonder, like, what stuff do they have out there, you know? Because you read.
Yeah.
I read. I'm all into like the fiction and maybe lack thereof of like people telling these stories of like creepy things, and there's tons of alien stuff in there, but most of it is bullshit. Like there's a bunch of stuff about how they have secret labs in Alaska and shit like that, but like it's fun and entertainment. But
Or how the
It just makes
government
you
made
wonder,
the
it's like-
Sasquatch.
or the Russian Yeti, yeah. You're all about that. Why don't you go into that?
Oh, I have no idea what you're talking about. It's on a government watch list. I know this. I know I know this.
You know I know you know this.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's fine.
We're so small compared to the world.
We are.
You
There's
guys
so
ever
much
heard
out
of the
there
plane
that
called the
we don't know.
Aurora?
The what?
Do tell. Tell me.
Aurora?
Are we talking about
Let's tell
Santa
me.
Aurora?
This is basically one of those planes that doesn't exist. They say it doesn't exist, but it exists. It has a unique ramjet, like pulsating ramjet design for engines, and it goes like Mach 5.
Oh yeah, the triangle.
It's a
Ridiculous.
ramjet engine for those of us listening who don't know.
Right. It's basically a way of using air to create pressure for thrust, and bypassing the gas turbine engine in general.
Right, it's the sound barrier.
I see. Ah.
So to put it in
So
hindsight,
what's the
right?
story on the plane here? So they say it doesn't exist, but you know it does. Like
Yeah. So about the same
How do
time
you know?
as they decommissioned the SR-71 Blackbird, people started seeing like strange contrails in the sky. Contrails are like the little white mist you see after or
The
a
sonic boom.
plane goes by.
Yep.
No, that's not the same thing. But
It's the mixture. It's essentially the
we
exhaust.
started seeing the weird contrails, which gave us the idea of what kind of engines it has. Is that pulsating ramjet? Because it will look like a donut on a stick. It'll have like a stick, and then it'll have a poof, like a donut around it. And that's the kind of where they got the idea for what kind of engines it's using.
So to kind of put it in
But,
hindsight, Mach 1 is 717 miles per hour. Mach 13
depending on
is, roughly 9,900 miles per hour. So that just kind of puts it in perspective of Mach 1 versus Mach 13.
Wow.
According to
That's
Wikipedia,
fast.
actually no, it's scilink.com on their education portion. The Mach number is a ratio of the speed of the body, which is the aircraft, to the speed of sound in an undetermined medium by which the body is traveling. And that's essentially what Austin said.
Yes. Give you another perspective. The SR-71 Blackbird, one of the fastest planes ever recorded, can only do 3.5 Mach 3.5. So the Aurora being a plane that can do like Mach 5 is ridiculous.
It's unheard of.
Heads up. We got
It's
Yeah, it
crazy.
was rumored in,
So
what was it,
fast.
Austin, the 80s?
Yeah.
Something like that, kind of around
about
like
the same
Cold
time
War
they
area.
dismissed the SR-71 Blackbird. Because they said, oh yeah, so satellite technology is at the point where we don't need the Blackbird anymore, so we're decommissioning it.
Which I wish they didn't. It's so cool.
It's
Such a
amazing.
cool plane.
But basically, then people believe, because at the same time Ronald Reagan started a project where they were going to get planes to Mach 5 for international travel to China, basically. But it was at a time where, like, trying to get Mach 5 is impossible. So they believe, or most people believe, it was about that time where they're like, yeah, so we need more money so that we can fund this project to make this badass plane that still has no pictures of it today. Because they hid the fucking, what is that stealth bomber for years, right? Until some dude flew
B-52?
over, like, yeah, somebody finally
classic
flew
one,
over
yeah.
like some Air Force base, and was like, oh, what is this? And took a picture.
Huh.
Released it to the
You're talking about
press.
the World War II bomber, right? Or are you talking about the new one? The
No, it was like Cold War-ish.
okay, because I heard about
B-52
that
or
with like the
something like that.
B-52 that they're like, is just this plane, and no one knew what it looked like for the longest time. I wanted to make sure I had my facts straight.
So I kind of wanted to add something about the government and how like there are very facilities in the country, like the Area 40. Was
51?
it Area 47? 51.
51.
51.
Or 51.
And you know they have like those signs where if you cross this line, we're allowed to use deadly force on you guys. So stay the fuck out. And that kind of makes me suspicious. Like, okay, you guys have, okay, let's say they have really advanced technology that they don't want us to see,
Mm-hmm.
but it wouldn't be like the territory that you have is about 2 or 3 miles away, or the fence is 2 or 3 miles away from the actual facility. So I would think that'd be enough for people to stay or won't be able to find out what they're doing, right? But with the added addition of deadly force, like I think they have something else they want to hide in, or they're hiding in there.
Right, that's like one of the
It just
top
makes me-
secret military bases. Like they're not,
Mhm.
and they can probably spoof radar because you can Google Map Area 51 and see the outposts of the radar facility or like the government facility and whatnot. But
Mhm.
That also might be just a good place to like say, "Oh yes, there's nothing here. There's nothing here," and actually have nothing there, and just put a bunch of security as a way to like screw with people and be
Deteriorate.
like, keep them away from like area of like 57 or something like that.
51.
Have it be a big distraction to something else.
Pretty much.
I mean, it makes sense. I feel like that's, as stupid as that sounds, it would work. Get people all riled up about something hiding in the Nevada desert when it's actually in the Wyoming mountains.
Ooh.
Dun, dun, dun.
Little M. Night Shyamalan plot twist there, buddy.
It all comes back around, back to the alien dick.
Back to the alien dicks. Little did they know it's actually in the Grand Tetons. And now we're gonna
Which
have some
mountain?
military personnel knocking on our door, being like, "How the fuck do you know?"
Right, if we don't make it out
Text.
alive, come looking for us.
Yeah.
There's so
Yeah.
many
What's our
crazy
time?
things out there.
We're
I
at
think
48
we're-
minutes, so we can call it a little
48.
quit early on this one if you guys want.
Just a short bonus
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah, nice
Like
little.
we got quite a bit done,
Nice.
and we talked about some very interesting things.
Yep, as always, stay tuned for every Wednesday, and thank you guys. Have a good one.